and welcome to our latest Black Foodies in the Kitchen. And we haven't done this in quite a while. We've been out on the road doing restaurant reviews and hitting these festivals. But what's going on in the world right now, we decided, hey, why not? We're going to show you how to prepare one of our favorite dishes, jerk, shrimp, and grit cakes, guys. And this is a bomb dish, and I'm going to be feeding it to Miss Coretta in a little while. But we're going to start off with, first and foremost, just some quick grits. And we're going to start off with a cup of grits, quick grits. You can use the stone ground if you like, but we're going quick grits today because we ain't got all day. But we're going to start off with this, and I'm going to put this over in the pan and toast them up under low heat just for a little bit, just to get a nice little toastiness going to these grits. And we're going to start off with 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And I like to use unsalted butter because we can always add more salt to the dish. We don't want to have the dish too salty. And once this butter melts down, 1 cup of grits. We're going to toast these puppies up. Whisk them around just a little bit. And this gives it a nice little nutty flavor. And now that the grits are nice and coated with the butter and hit with just a little bit of heat, we are going to add 1½ cups of water. Along with 1½ cups of chicken stock. And the name of the game when it comes to cooking at home, guys, you want to layer the flavor. You want to have all types of flavor throughout a dish. We're going to let this sit. Crank the heat up just a little bit. Bring them to a boil. And let it do what it do. And while those grits are cooking, I'm going to go to some smoked chicken sausages that I purchased. I'm just going to chop them up like so. We're going to add this to the grits once the grits are complete. And this is going to add a smokiness to the grits. And really, like we said earlier, layers of flavor. And it's going to be really, really tasty, guys. And we're going to transport these over to our pan. And now we're going to saute these chicken sausages. Listen to that nice little sizzle. We just preheated about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. Guys, butter makes it better. I can't help it. Once again, layers of flavor. We're gonna get these right. They popping off real good too. Just let these crisp up just a little bit. Guys, these grits are turning out perfectly. Take a look at them. Nice and thick. And we actually added a little bit more grits than we normally would because we're making grit cakes. So we actually want them to be a little bit thicker so they'll hold up once we get them out of the refrigerator, because we're going to refrigerate these. We're going to incorporate the sausage throughout these grits. Chicken stock. Chicken sausage. Now we're going to show you how to make grit cakes. And you don't have to put the protein in it either, guys. Just do it how you want. And we're just going to butter a small tin, or you can really make a big batch and use a whole cookie sheet. And we're doing this so that the grits will not stick to the bottom of the pan once they solidify and cool down in the refrigerator. And we're going to dump these grits into this pan, and we're going to spread them out. And they, boy, did this smell good. Real good. And take a look. It didn't fill up the whole thing. But I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, let it solidify, and then we're going to have our grit cakes. And now onto this decadent sauce for our jerk, shrimp, and grit cakes. It is so yummy and so good. I can't wait to show you guys how to make it. And we're gonna start off by chiffonading some red peppers, green peppers, and onions. And chiffonading means nothing more than just cutting it thin, little thin ribbon. And we're gonna also mince 1 garlic clove. And we're gonna saute that in 1.5 tablespoons of butter. And once these veggies have just wilted down just a little bit, we're gonna add about 1 cup of half and half. And as you guys can see, this is somewhat of an Alfredo sauce. We're gonna go with 1.5 cups of unsweetened coconut milk. Get a nice chunk of it out, kind of solidify, put a little of the water in. We're gonna let this melt down with these veggies. And we're gonna also add some butter, 3/4 cup, and 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese, roughly. And what gives it the jerk kick is this allspice we're gonna add. That's probably about 1/2 teaspoon, probably a whole teaspoon. Ground ginger. And we're gonna take this habanero and we're gonna poke it. And we're gonna steep this whole habanero, and be careful guys, this is a very potent pepper. And stick it in, and we're gonna steep it just like a tea bag. And we're just gonna let everything cook together and marry together. And it's just a wonderful, yummy sauce. And as it goes, we're gonna taste it. We may add a little bit of salt if necessary. And just cook this thing down. Just tasted it. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. And you salt to taste. The salt just brightens up the dish. You don't want to go too much. And press this habanero just to get a lot of the juices out. I don't want the seeds because the seeds are super hot. And I'm not trying to just really blow anybody out. Just for some nice heat and some of the fruitiness from the habanero. And as it comes to a boil, a little bit of fresh thyme, some of the leaves, just to add a little bit of brightness and freshness to this particular sauce. And it really adds another layer of flavor. You guys catching the theme here? And after boiling, bring to a simmer. And while our jerk sauce is reducing a little bit, guys, and it's turning out just fantastic, now on to these grit cakes. And if you have a cookie cutter or a biscuit cutter, I have this little puppy right here. And we're just gonna come down and come through for our cakes. Come on out. Look at that, guys. I'm gonna make several of these. Come get them. There's another one. There's another one. You can hear them just squishing. But I think I'm gonna make, Miss Coretta, maybe 3 of these, and we'll save the rest. And I'm just gonna make these pretty. These here, I'm just gonna cook up for myself and just get down with the get down. And I put a little AP on the outside of our grit cakes. We're gonna just lay it in this vegetable oil and let it do what it do. And guys, we wanna brown these about 4 to 5 minutes each side. Look at that. Doesn't that look yummy, yummy, yummy? And we're gonna get these jumbo shrimp raw, deveined. Hit them with a little bit of salt, a little bit of Cajun seasoning. Flip them around. We have a lot of seasoning in our other portions of the dish. Butter, preheated, brown butter. And you do not have to cook shrimp long at all, guys. If you cook them too long, it will become rubbery and tough. And once these shrimp start turning kind of white with a little orangeness to them, you know you got them done. And I would say the jumbo shrimp are going to cook probably less than 3 minutes. Very fast process.
Thank you, honey, for this beautiful dish. It's yummy. And you even added the radishes, my favorite. Gives a little texture. My man knows how to cook. The grit cakes, it has that little crispiness on the outside, then it's moist on the inside. And this sauce, you did a really good job on the sauce, honey.
Thank you, sweetie.
I'm tasting the sausages, and it's got a little sweetness from that smoked chicken sausage. Yummy. All right, let me try these shrimp, see how perfect they are. Perfect. Goodness. This is how you do shrimp. Got a little nice snap to them. Spicy a little from that seasoning. I mean, there's so many layers of flavors, like you season everything. So, from our house to yours, try this recipe. Your lady or man will be happy.